Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday. No, it's not Thursday. It's Wednesday. What day is it? We don't know, because lately it feels like the world is running at a speed that isn't quite human. Headlines fly, takes fly, and reactions arrive before information does. Everything feels sped up, compressed, and accelerated. Gen X, we weren't really built for this timeline. We were trained for waiting, sarcasm, and maybe the occasional existential dread. Not news cycles that refresh faster than a teenager's TikTok feed. And today we're talking about the art of slowing down to think clearly, because clarity is a kindness, and kindness is a kind of competence. Welcome, everyone, to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity.
This is Kindness Rising.
All right. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great day today, getting up and getting after it. It is Wednesday. Get involved in the comments. Say hello in the chat, please. I would love to talk to you. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to hear from you. I want to give you a place to come to feel safe, to feel connected. That's what Kindness Rising is. Good morning, Roseanne Roof. Hello, mother. Yes, my mother is here. My mother shows up in the comments, always dropping her wisdom bombs for us, always asking us questions and thinking about things, using her experience and her expertise from, I won't say how many years, but many years, some years, mostly career of giving to the world of teaching, and she uses those. She's taught me how to teach, and I am doing that here every day. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Don't forget to get involved in the comments. Today we're talking about two primary topics. The first is going to be talking about slowing down, slowing our roll a little bit. Man, have I been on a pace. I've been on a go, and the scrolling and all that kind of stuff. It's just been like, whoa, I needed to take a minute and slow down. So we're going to talk about that today. And we are going to talk about the doomsday clock. Have you guys seen the news about the doomsday clock? We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Anyway, welcome everyone who's chosen to join us here on Kindness Rising. A little chance to bring some calm to our world, to rise above the noise. To rise above the noise. Yes, absolutely. And to maybe even sink below the noise, meaning to settle down a little bit. And today, I just gave a little clue, a little flash. We have a couple of friends joining us. Hello, everyone. I didn't have time to make videos with my friends, but they are here. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm getting crazy. Okay, there's a reason why power tries to speed things up. I'm trying to keep it a little light today because speed overwhelms, speed disorients, and speed confuses. At high speed, people don't respond, they react. Boom, boom, we're reacting. No reflection, no thought, no consideration, compassion for another person or another point of view, no openness. Boom, react, no reflection. And that almost always creates mistakes, right? We'll always make mistakes when we react versus respond and reflect. And guess what? Just tying back to what we talked about before, those mistakes are useful to power. Chaos is useful. Confusion is useful, because confused people don't act, they flail. Onlookers, they often say, everything's happening so fast. It happened so fast, right? What? Why is everything happening so fast? The better question is, who benefits from that speed? Outrage and anger are the problem. They're the fuel. They're the fuel. We want to honor them. We want to feel them, and we want them to inform us. But we don't want to let that speed turn our feelings into unaligned actions. We want to slow it down just enough to make sure that we are taking aligned action. Because outrage without alignment, without the right action, that's going to lead to burnout. But outrage with clarity, with focus, with understanding, that can change history. So feel it. Feel whatever you're feeling, but slow it down. Because remember, values are core. What's inside of us, our inner thoughts, like we talked about with James Allen, they operate on a slower frequency than panic, right? Strategy, that operates on a slower speed, a slower frequency. People in power who want to dominate, dominating powers, they want panic. They want panic. But wisdom, that requires presence. Because the work isn't to feel less, it's to let feelings settle into clarity before we move. That clarity is going to make our actions more effective, and that alignment will make our movements endure. So it's not about the speed, how fast we can go. It's about the tempo. It's about the presence. It's about showing up every day. Every day. Because life is not a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Right? Pacing, tempo. Sometimes we speed up, sometimes we slow down. But the key is that we dictate the pace. We dictate the pace in ourselves, and we don't allow the narrative to dictate the pace for us. I have struggled with that over the past few days, frankly. I know that. I see it within myself. The constant need to check what's happened next, who said what, where's he going, what's she doing. Constant. In this time, it's really hard. It's hard to avoid that. But I'm making focused efforts to slow down, to remove myself from this, to create rather than consume, to share rather than to just take it all in. That's a choice that everybody can make. To speak up, to share their points of view, whatever your point of view is. Sharing, having dialogue, asking questions, those are the things that are going to help us to move forward with a nice, even tempo. Good morning, Peg Singh Chef K. Oh my goodness, I can't say your name, but hello, friend. Welcome to Kindness Rising. We are glad you are here. All of us here at Kindness Rising. Good morning, Mike Sullivan. How you doing, buddy? I dropped something. I got to pick it up. I'm just trying to bring it down a little bit. The past couple days have been a little heavy, and we're just lightening the mood a little today as we head into the day with our friends. Hello, friend. All right. So as I said before, lately I've been losing my tempo, man. I've been over consuming, just ridiculous, scrolling like I'm training for the Olympics. I'm gonna win the scrolling championship. I dare you to race me. I can scroll faster. I can consume more faster than you can. Eesh. I've been out of control. I know I have, but I am taking my control back. I'm taking my control back. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have been taking it. And good morning, Curtis Pazza Jr. Curtis Pazza Jr. is in the house. Hello. Um, so yeah, so I'm just choosing to slow my roll. Sully, what do you got to say? Balance is the key. Balance is one of our 6 strings, pegs. Peg singing chef. I think I got it figured out. Are you a singing chef? Where do you chef and where do you sing? Yeah. Balance is key. Balance is one of the 6 strings of kindness rising. What we talk about here: kindness, balance, action, curiosity, self-awareness, and growth. Absolutely. So seems like perhaps Peg, you are aligned. Please subscribe to the channel. Join us here every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. So Miss Peg, I'll call you Miss Peg. Yes, Miss Peg. With the butterfly Miss Peg. Absolutely. All right. Tony Robbins went to the Melania movie event, Sully. I didn't know that. I mean, I know there's a Melania movie, and I know that what I have seen, has not been received very well lately. Of course, in my scrolling, I came across that little tidbit, right? Brett Ratner's directing. He's had his own story, I think. So probably there's some struggle within the industry to support that. He's been connected to things that people are not enamored with. And I saw another bit of information about the movie in, I forget what, a big theater that you would recognize the name of that was hosting the movie sold 1 advanced ticket for it. I forgot which one it was, but yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Meditation, chai tea. Chai tea helps too, but also Tai Chi. Chai tea or Tai Chi? I don't know. Mom, Tai Chi. Are you doing Tai Chi, Mom? I knew you were doing yoga, but are you into the Tai Chi now? I didn't know that. Contemplation, silence. Those disciplines. Yes, those are the disciplines. My wife is the singing chef. Okay. All right. Sully, Melania and Tony Robbins are neighbors. That does not surprise me. But yeah, I don't know. I have to admit that I'm morbidly curious about it. I've always been a little curious about her for a variety of reasons, but I might at least try to check it out when I don't have to pay for it. It comes out on, I think it's on Apple, right? Apple, everyone? Is it Apple? I'm pretty sure that's was part of the deal. It was part of the deal. She got her movie as in exchange for other things, but whatever. That's the way it's always been. That doesn't bother me as much as other things. That's just the way it's always been. That's the kind of stuff we've always accepted. All right. But anyway, I was talking about the fact that, man, I've been feeling overstimulated. And I know it's not just a me problem. People I talk to, overstimulated, emotionally overloaded, informationally saturated. I'm heading to a meeting at 9 o'clock today after the show, and the guy that I'm meeting with, he and I know each other. We haven't connected in a while, but when we reconnected, it was the first thing we talked about. I was like, oh my God, dude, how overwhelmed are you right now? Absolutely. Well, let's try to get together, connect, and bring it down a little bit for each other to find a little bit of peace. a little piece together. So that's what I'm doing when I make connections now. I'm looking for people to connect with that will help me to be at peace, to not enrage. And I know a lot of people who are out there feeling the same way. So that's my action to combat my scrolling and my thoughts that are just a spiral, my downward spiral, not my upward spiral. I know it. I know it. I know music. Oh, Peg, Miss Peg, Miss Peg, whose wife is a singing chef. Music helps. Music is my elixir. Miss Peg, tell me about what kind of music you're into. We can talk about that for sure. Use those things that bring you calm, that connect to your soul when you're feeling out of control. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I was just taking a breath, looking at my notes here for a second while I absolutely mood is a huge part of it, right? Right. Absolutely. We pick our moods. That's why Spotify has all its channels based on mood. Are you feeling romantic? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling happy summertime? Are you feeling lonely? All that music can really help. Absolutely. All right. Anyway, I am encouraging us all at this point to slow it down. Slow it down. Absolutely. Remember that confusion and disarray and disorientation, right? That is authoritarian power's favorite tool. That's its favorite camouflage, right? Confusion. If you flood a population with too many facts and too many opinions, predictions, threats, you don't make them more informed, you make them less coherent. Society can't think clearly and can't act collectively, and kindness requires both. And that's why we slow down, not to disengage from the world, but to re-engage with clarity, because slow is smooth, smooth is clear, and clear is kind. Absolutely. Yes, Mom. Absolutely. Absolutely. The full moon affects it. I agree 100%. 100% in the moments we are aware of that. You've taught me that from the days, and I've experienced it. That's been my observation. Some people think that's bullshit, excuse my expression, but I've experienced it. I've experienced it being working in the hospital world, working in the world of human services with people. I know there are general cycles. Not for everybody, but you can feel it. You can feel it. Our bodies are attuned to those cycles. There's no question about it. And whatever it is, whatever space dust we're all made of, when that moon goes full and we come around to it, things go cuckoo. Cuckoo. We have to be careful. We have to be aware of that, right? And when we're feeling it, just recognizing this is temporary, it'll pass. Absolutely. Listen to the opposite. Peg, I'm interested in that perspective for sure. Holroyd, I see you there. Sorry I didn't pick up on that earlier. I am glad you've joined me this morning before we get over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends here on the Mornings in the Lab network for sure, for sure. But listening to all, I agree. The problem is that I see, Peg, is listening to all leads you to that doom scroll, right? But then if you pick your sources, then you get accused of being narrow, right? Or you become narrow. You can become narrow. So you have to pick and choose your spots. And for me, I choose to pick credible sources, try to pick credible sources. I appreciate that everybody's got an opinion on it. When I'm listening to people talk about, the first question I'm asking is, what makes this person qualified to bring this opinion forward? Have they had a lived experience? Do they have some form of education associated with it? Right? Do I want to know more about that person if I'm thinking about, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Right? Or what the hell are they thinking? Right? That kind of stuff. So making sure that we understand where, especially from the general public, like politicians, CEOs, whatever, we know where they stand. We understand, like we have enough. And I already have cynicism already automatically when I hear from everyone in those leadership positions. I'm always questioning those things. But when we're interacting, like here, what's my qualification to stand here and say anything, to have an opinion? Well, mine is my experience in the world, my 30 years of working with human beings every day, my master's degree in health administration that helped me to open up the world to understanding public policy and the way the world works within the healthcare or world, but applying those concepts across the world, across whatever's going on in the world. But so you do want to ask those people. You want to ask that question yourself as you're listening to other people talk about it. Who are the people in your neighborhood? No, who are the people that you listen to, and what are their qualifications? Yeah, Mike, I've talked about that before. I did work in the healthcare industry, empathetic and kind. That's where that came from. I've also talked about my struggles with that and my faulty thinking that my career had to be the way that I show my kindness, right? That was the way that I could connect with the world, when indeed I could do it through kitty finger puppets if I want to. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. That's where that came from, was that empathy and that kindness and my desire to give back and to lift people up. But it doesn't have to be the career that does that, the way you make your living. I am now applying those things to other aspects of my life. Absolutely. All right, time is a flying here this morning. I am glad you have all chosen to come join me here on the Mornings in the Lab Network. If you're interested in bringing your leadership to the network, we have an opportunity for you to do that. We'd love to help you bring your voice to the world, to stand out, to bring your expertise and your authority to the world, to create rather than consume. Absolutely. All right, I got to shift because I promised I would talk about the doomsday clock. Boom, boom, boom. All right. You guys know about the doomsday clock? Does anybody know about the doomsday clock? It started in 1947, and it was designed by atomic scientists to visualize how close humanity is to actual global catastrophe. Things like nuclear war, climate breakdown, and runaway technologies. And it isn't about prediction. This isn't Nostradamus stuff, but it's about wakefulness. It's about mindfulness. It's saying, pay attention, don't panic, and act wisely. And that's a distinction we don't make enough, because panic is fast, but wisdom is slow. That clock, it's not just about threats. It's about time, how we use it, how we waste it, how we fill it with noise, distraction, and outrage instead of clarity and cooperation. Here's the interesting part, though. The scientists who set that clock, they've set it at 85 seconds to midnight. The scientists who set that clock, they say it can move backwards if we respond with strategy, not chaos. And that's the tie to today's theme, that speed isn't strength. It causes confusion, but clarity is strength, alignment is strength, kindness is strength, and going slow and thinking about things, bringing the temperature down a little bit. Holy moly, did you guys hear that? Apparently my coffee is doing its work in the belly. That was one of the louder ones I've ever experienced, moving around in there. Oh no. All right. Anyway, the doomsday clock that wants us to do if it wants us to do anything, it wants us to stay awake without losing our mind and to remember that humanity doesn't run well at panic speed. We run well when we're thoughtful, because slow is smooth, smooth is clear, and clear is kind. That's today's. No help? What's no help? Curtis Paza Jr., no help. I'm not helping you? You need help. What's not helpful to you, buddy? I want to be here helpful. I want people to join here and to be connected in the community. And I also like to give a little takeaway, a little something for us to think about as a group, these kind of things that help us to stay centered, to stay grounded in confusing times. Pause. Pause before you assume. We all bring our biases to things in the world, but if we take a moment to pause, perhaps we can learn to question those biases, listen, and grow. And listening is the next thing. Always listen before you judge. Even to the rage, pick through and see what's really going on underneath there. Ask before you react. That is something that I'm working on deeply in my professional world, in my personal world. No snap reactions. Ask a question first, whatever it is, a basic question that gives you the time to pause and reflect, which is the next thing. Reflect before you conclude. And lastly, care before you decide. Make sure what you're deciding is truly aligned with what your values are, right? Because it's not about softness. It's about precision. It's about deciding what we want to do intentionally rather than in a reaction or a response. That's the message for today. Slow it down. Slow is smooth, smooth is clear, and clarity is kind. We'll have clarity within ourselves, clarity within the world. And if more of us do that, I believe we'll be headed towards a better place of peace and harmony. I'm not Pollyanna about it. I understand there will always be conflict, and there should be. A good society has conflict, has different points of view, has Arkanoid, welcome. Welcome. Glad you're here. Slowly I step. Absolutely. Count to 10. Love those things. Absolutely. And Arkanoid, by the way, I love your name. I have to assume that it's based on the 80s video game. Is it based on the Niagara Falls? That's where you're from? I've been there. Been there, done that. I love the art park up there. It's near Niagara Falls. You know the art park? You own Arknoid? What do you mean you own it? I own it too. I play it. I have it on one of my little video games. Anyway, we're winding down here. Arknoid, I hope you'll come back tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here at Kindness Rising. And we'll talk more about retro video games and owning arcades. Curtis, I hope you come back. Sully, I know you'll be here. Roseanne, I know you'll be here. And anybody else that's out there, come on back. 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday. Remember, we don't control the timeline, but we do control the tempo. In confusing times, clarity is kindness, pacing is courage, and presence is resistance. Fear wants us to speed up. Outrage wants us to speed up, but wisdom slows us down. Slow is smooth, smooth is clear, clear is kind. So until tomorrow, stay uncommon and stay kind.
Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity. And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.